Welcome back to MK vs DC. So now that we finished both campaigns, let's take a look at the arcade endings as well as the finishing moves.
So much to see.
Oh wait, never mind, I forgot about this. Yeah, first I'm gonna show off something, yeah. Basically, when you can choose your opponents, you can pick either mix, I guess in a mix of both, or you can just choose to only use MK or DC characters.
Or the tower. Yeah.
For the tower, there you go. So here's a tower. There we are. So let's take a look at Darkseid. Since we haven't actually...
After you beat the campaign, you unlock both Darkseid and Shao Kahn, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look at Darkseid.
Interesting that you chose Lex Luthor to play as.
Why not?
That.
Round 1. Fight.
Two big DC villains, Jova.
Of course.
Aye.
There we are.
That's the reason Darkseid is losing. It wasn't actually sitting enough on couches for that day.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, for a second, I thought he was firing it out of his crotch.
No. Yeah, I think Pedro should get the idea, the memo. Darkseid is not really happy with you zoning.
I would seem.
I'm saving my rage for now. There's no...
I don't think I ever actually played as Darkseid the few times I played this game, actually. And my friends
Darkseid's your heavier tank.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I don't think he actually has his Omega Beams. Maybe for his fatality. Rude.
Hey, I was watching that.
All right, so now that we took a look at Darkseid, let's check out Scorpion's ending.
Though Dark Khan was defeated, his consciousness lived on. The Dark Lord's power and maliciousness found the perfect host in the body of the wrathful Scorpion.
Of course.
In the midst of his agony, Scorpion knew that he would soon be the most powerful creature in the universe, if he survived the transformation.
Alright to me.
He'll probably be fine.
And that's it.
And that's what happened after the transformation.
All right, let's take a look at Sub-Zero's ending.
Sub-Zero.
Oh man, this ending's really...
Oh, look at that! Sub-Zero became the new Batman.
Spawn.
Fighting alongside the forces of
that wasn't a
world
pun.
merge
I actually
crisis,
do like
Sub-Zero
this
came
ending.
to a
You can please
realization.
ice
He was no
spawn.
longer the assassin he had been, nor was he comfortable among the self-proclaimed defenders of Earthrealm. Inspired by one of the invaders, Sub-Zero decided he would work for the good of the realm, but on his own terms.
Yeah, he pretty
He would
much
be a
became the
mostly
Batman of Mortal
solitary figure,
Kombat.
blending in with the dark and the cold. Sub-Zero left the Lin Kuei and donned a new costume befitting this new endeavor. But the Lin Kuei do not tolerate desertion, as he will soon discover.
He'll be fine. He's dealt with having to leave them on several occasions.
Honestly, with considering the environment and him being an internet, I think he will pass more as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain.
Of
Yeah.
course. Next.
Sonya.
Sonya. During the World Merge crisis, a member of the Green Lantern Corps was killed. At the moment of his
Hemlock
death,
says it was
the
Kyle
Corps
Rayner.
to Sonya, taking her as
Okay,
his new
to
master.
No, it was Guy
DC
Gardner.
When the world
Because screw
was
him.
against
No,
him,
Guy Gardner is
the
too
Rangers
stupid to die, John
Now
Edge.
she has the
Okay,
but
to
only
give
one
DC
charge.
credit to
She
you,
must use the ring
it's
sparingly
not like
so
they've
she can find a way to
absolutely
replenish
dunked on Kyle Rayner to the point where they killed him. Hell, a lot of people thought they were going to kill him when Hal Jordan came back, but no, surprisingly, they were fine
Still,
with him.
Sonya as a Green Lantern, I don't know.
I think she'd fit better as a Red Lantern, if I'm
Yeah.
to be honest. But, you know,
Good old
She does
Shansong.
have enough willpower, to be honest, but...
I'm not quite sure if the Red Lanterns were that big at the time, though.
Angered by his defeat,
They still aren't.
Shang Tsung sought to create a race of super warriors.
No. They're now more of a thing thanks to events like Blackest Night and Supergirl Red Lantern. Oh yeah, there was an event where Supergirl became a Red Lantern.
Also, okay, no, like how is the Shazam kind of magic be able to be mutated like this?
Well, Shao Kahn found a way, Tio.
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
Cool story, bro.
Next.
All right, next one, Princess Katana.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
look at that,
Melina.
we need Jade.
No base of operations after their devastating
Jade
I used to see about where Melina isn't trying to kill the hell out of Katana.
Occasionally, there's the occasional arcade ending in these games where Melina eventually reforms and becomes Katana's ally.
Warriors remade the former site of the Mortal Kombat tournament into a bastion of
Shao
human
Kahn would be
light.
so proud.
To honor
Not
the
just
god
one
of
daughter,
evil,
but
they
both
renamed
daughters
their
rebelled
new
against
home.
him.
That is little girls.
And Jade. Yeah, she's cool.
Jade's the one recolor that I'm afraid is not Shao Kahn's daughter.
Nope.
But he loves her like a donut.
No, Jade loves another Khan, not Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Badly injured
Yeah,
in a
and he's
melee with
voiced
the
by
otherworldly
Phil Lamar.
invaders, Jax knew he must enhance his cybernetics.
So
to
yeah,
save
Jax
his own
became the
life.
new cyborg, I guess.
He underwent massive anatomical
Oh, no,
reconstruction,
this is a
replacing
cyborg
most
that
of
would
his
fit
body
right in with the
mechanized,
Justice
fully
League.
armored versions. Jax is now more
Yeah, I'm
powerful
still
than
not keen on that.
So basically, Sub-Zero became Batman and Jax became Cyborg. Okay.
I'll admit, neat crossover idea.
Hasn't been followed up. That's Mog.
Liu
Even
Kang.
when consumed by the rage, Luthor will be forever smug.
Oh great, more of the Elder Gods.
Through intense study, Raiden was able to unlock the secrets of the Rock of Eternity and determine
The
its
Rock
function.
of Eternity?
He decided
What?
It's the place of Shazam, Pedro.
marvel of Earth.
Oh, right. I thought he was trying to...
And
Okay.
with his own power, as well as the
Oh my
abilities
god,
of his
Phil
fellow
Lamar was the
gods,
voice of
Arthas,
Dormammu
Fuji,
in Marvel vs. Capcom
Yeah.
Infinite?
In order to
Power
transform
of the
no
power
idea.
of the power.
being an
of
unstoppable power.
It's so hard to
Liu
tell
Kang
if how
only
heavily his
shouted
voice was
Mortal
edited in
Kombat.
that. That said, Phil Lamar's voice.
He became the Shazam.
Yeah.
That said, Phil
And all he
Lamar
has to
is-
do to transform is shout, Mortal Kombat!
What kind of acronym is that?
Okay, that is pretty awesome. That said, I will give him credit. It is great that Phil Lamar is still the voice of the
As the
best
interdimensional
Green
conflict
Lantern,
ended,
John
Raiden
Stewart.
returned to
Even
Earthrealm,
by the time I'm in
only to
Justice
discover
Gods
that
Among Us.
exposure to his home
So Raiden, do you want this?
weakened him
You want this?
greatly. The sorcerer Quan Chi offered Raiden a jade-colored stone.
Take this, it's totally not a trap.
In return for his
Uh-huh.
services. Where Quan Chi acquired this stone is a mystery. Raiden must now decide between servitude to an evil sorcerer.
What kind of
And
ending
if he
is that
has
for
one
Raiden?
single brain
Yeah.
cell left in him, he will choose
John,
mortality because no way in hell would anyone smart enough who has known Quan Chi for
What
this
has
long
Raiden
so
done to
much
you,
as
John?
factor into a deal with him.
I actually like Kano's ending.
With that steel.
So there you go, Kano becomes the Joker.
The
The
Joker,
combat
of
rage
course.
completely
I live in a
disappeared once
society.
Khan was
I
defeated.
mean,
It's called
yeah.
Australia, mates.
Irreversibly mad. Turning on friend and foe alike, he became an outcast. Kano's appearance changed as well. He has painted his face to further express his seething anger. Alone in the depths of insanity,
I used to
Kano
think that my
endlessly
life was a
repeats,
tragedy.
"Death
Now
to
I
Shang
realize
Tsung. Death to Shang Tsung.
it's a video game.
Death to Shang Tsung."
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Alright, one more MK character left. Baraka.
Huh. Weird. Shao Kahn and Darkseid don't get endings.
They do,
either.
they do.
Playable.
Well, actually, hold on. You'll see.
Not very remember, at least.
As the worlds returned to normal, the combat rage dissipated in its victims, except the Tarkatans. Through the rage, the savage outworld race has descended to an even greater level of bloodlust.
Poor
Marking
bastards.
their foreheads with the blood of their enemies, they now storm throughout the realms, dominating all.
And
Yeah,
that's
he wins.
it.
He doesn't get screwed over in these things. So good job, Baraka.
You live on your life, I guess.
So what were you gonna say about Darkseid and Shao Kahn, Pedro?
Hold on, Superman. You can see. We'll see them after this.
After his encounter with the invaders and their magical powers, Superman knew he was vulnerable to similar assaults in the future. With the aid of the wizard Shazam, he applied ancient Kryptonian lore to the creation of a new costume, giving him resistance to magic.
The very
Attacks
questionable
by
belt.
sorcerers and demons now have no effect on the man.
Like, I like the bracelets, not so much the belt.
I'll admit, that is actually a good productive idea of Superman. Get rid of the whole magic weakness.
He even has the Wonder Woman's bracelets.
And he has a belt that points towards his crotch, thank you very much.
Alright, let's check Batman's ending.
Oh, Batman
He
built
became
Sentinels.
he became Tony Stark in Man of
Once
Machines.
again invade Earth. Batman created an autonomous global security system to
So literally
Bruce,
Sentinels.
Bruce, it already did not work with Brother Eye. Why do you think this would work?
Because he's Batman.
Oh my god, he never learns.
Has already discovered a breach in the tropics.
This time OMAC won't turn evil, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So OMAC is basically Ultron.
Sorry, I was gone. I did manage to catch the Liu Kang one, and I loved the bit where he was like, every time he had to call his party shout Mortal Kombat. I was just thinking, wait, it's the theme song play every time he does
Hey, look,
it.
look at that, Selina became an Animorph.
Amazing.
This is literally a cover from Animorphs.
Oh god, she literally
First
became
illustration and
a...
all.
Oh my god, she became Black Panther.
That would never again be caged.
Good for you, Selena. Getting in deeper with your inner animal.
I'm screen capping that, and I'm going into Photoshop.
Alright, The Flash.
The Flash.
As a result of Liu Kang's aura attunement, the Flash discovered he had retained a psychic bond with the warrior.
Oh, nice.
The two agreed to warn each other of any cross-universal breaches.
Which does include punching Quan Chi's teeth
It wasn't
out.
long until Liu Kang appeared before the Flash, warning him of an impending attack by the sorcerer Quan Chi.
And that's it. Again, some of these endings are just stop when they should have like a final phrase or something.
Sorry, Tia, we couldn't properly finish this.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
On a distant planet, a huge pyramid unexpectedly rose from beneath the ground.
Uh-oh.
Its origin was unknown, but it seemed to emanate energy similar to what Batman detected from the invading.
Oh my god, it's Armageddon.
It's the Armageddon, only in Blackest Night form.
Has learned of the pyramid's existence.
Of course Sinestro wants it, of course.
Because of course
Hal
he
Jordan
does.
knows only that its energy is dangerous, and that the Green Lantern Corps must stop the Sinestro Corps at any cost.
Did you guys ever commentate on the Green Lantern movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Both the live action one and the First Flight. We still have to do Emerald Knights though.
I'll join in for that.
First Light was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard.
The Joker.
As the worlds separated, the Joker discovered he had retained his new powers.
Oh boy.
With them, he soon controlled all of Gotham, proclaiming himself Mayor Joker. Under his rule, the city
Mayor
was
Loki.
into chaos.
Tell your men they work for me now. This is my city.
Fight to the death for his amusement. The winner will face
And here you go,
against
Tia.
the Joker himself.
So, Dej, you heard about it from our commentary, I assume?
No. People have told me that was good.
Okay. Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
Seriously, Lex is always
Using
interacting
data
with the
stolen
other
from
bald
special
guys.
forces, Lex Luthor constructed his own portal and breached the barrier that separated the two universes. There he encountered the sorcerer Quan Chi. Their combined power, intelligence, and near omnipresence will be unstoppable.
Like a
power
match
of
made
all
in
of
hell.
Prey to this deadly alliance.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
I'm sure this one will work.
So there you go. Lex Luthor and Quan Chi are the new Deadly Alliance.
Sure.
You know what? I actually wouldn't mind saying that.
Alright, Captain Marvel.
In order to regain control of his power, Captain Marvel was guided by the wizard Shazam through a focusing ritual. At its apex, Captain Marvel unexpectedly visited a strange ethereal world, finding himself face to face with godlike beings calling themselves
Yeah, so please,
Elder Gods.
put them in their
Now
places.
able to tap into these gods' powers, Captain Marvel has new abilities he is only
So,
just beginning
Captain
to
Marvel
master.
essentially just made the Elder Gods his power bitches.
Basically.
Far
Make this sound like this is a bad thing.
more. Yeah, basically what Deji said.
Oh,
Again,
no. Trust me, it is far from a bad thing. If anything, I just love the fact that the Elder Gods really only got as far as they did
Indeed.
because their
no.
residents
That is
Oh.
a cool
aren't as
sword.
powerful.
and she has an MK shield as well.
Learned that strange relics had been found
That is
scattered across
awesome.
the island. A sword, a shield, and a golden amulet, all pulsing with energy. Compelled to equip herself with the items, she was infused with powers beyond those bestowed upon her by the Greek gods.
Dude, that's pretty
She and her
awesome.
Amazons are now unstoppable as they fight for the preservation of Earth.
Cool.
Cool beans.
Great.
Alright,
Some of these pauses feel a bit long and awkward, I'll admit.
they do. Alright, Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Oh
goody.
boy.
Deathstroke emerged from the inter-universal conflict both wiser and more cautious. Assassins from another universe would be
Stop
unwanted
getting angry at
competition.
people who call you
To maintain
Deadpool.
superiority, Deathstroke created a band of powerful assassins outfitted in his image. He now serves as Grand Master of this fearsome Deathstrike clan.
Yeah,
You
that seems
know-
about right. As long as we pay.
Kind of makes me wonder why he never tried doing that in the comics. He did.
He tried doing that with his children, and it never worked.
Yeah, isn't that what right, Jericho?
So if you press R1 tail, now you can check Shao Kahn and Darkseid's endings.
Alright then.
Defeated, Shao Kahn was imprisoned in the Phantom Zone, used for holding dangerous Kryptonian villains because of its ability to render them
I think the one on the right is General
Possibly
Zod.
due to the magical nature of his strength, however, the Phantom Zone had the opposite effect on Shao Kahn. Instead of neutralizing him,
This
I
is
thought
an
it was like
alternate.
Metallica.
allowing him to
Metallica
Basically,
or whatever.
with
Basically,
him,
this is
untold
an alternate
numbers of
universe
criminals
where the
released from
ending
millennia of imprisonment.
caused Shao Kahn to
Grateful, they
actually
had sworn
become more
allegiance to Shao
powerful
Kahn
instead of
and
being,
now
well,
follow him in his
powerless.
quest to conquer the universes.
Honka ha K.
Wow, I can't believe this is a better setup for a sequel.
It is. Like,
Then-
trust me,
then
Des.
what-
The Mortal Kombat series really was becoming a mess at the time.
Okay, Darkseid.
Imprisoned in the Netherrealm, Darkseid was left vulnerable. Shang Tsung attempted to steal Darkseid's soul.
Oh,
Bad
that
move.
was a bad idea given how big Darkseid's soul is.
Soul drain, reducing Shang Tsung to a withered old man.
Oh boy.
Powered by Shang Tsung's magic, Darkseid broke
So
free of
basically,
his
everything
bonds.
went to hell because Shang Tsung just
He's an
happened to be
idiot.
greedy.
Darkseid in an attempt to spare his own life.
Sorry, Darkseid. Sorry, Shen Tsung. Darkseid already has a dirty old man at his disposal.
That's the thing,
And a
Darkseid.
dirty old woman as well.
Alright, and now let's check out the fatalities.
Oh goody, these
Wait,
should
there are
be fun.
fatalities in this game?
Yeah, for the MK characters and the DC villains, the heroes have heroic brutalities.
Yep.
So yeah, this one is a classic. It just doesn't turn the opponent into a skeleton.
There you go, those rocks there, just so you can see the skeleton. Or I think. Probably. Alright.
Again, I get the idea what they
Oh,
were trying
now
to do.
you can show the
It was-
skeleton.
It's not
Weird.
because that one did not. I guess it was sort of a flaming corpse. That was that. I
Yes.
guess.
I guess. That's it? Come on, Sub-Zero, you can do better than that.
I'm contractually
Batman.
obligated. Sorry.
Let's see what's your second one. Oh, okay.
Man, I wanna-
That's his. That's one. Well, actually, that's one of his fatalities from MK3. So
I'll admit, how much gore would it have been if he actually broke Batman's back after
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
freezing
thought that was gonna happen.
classic.
Off. I love when Batman just falls over like that.
Fatality. Finish him.
That's it.
Wins.
Hell, you don't even get to see him fall into the ground or anything. Come on.
Nope, just a
Maybe-
sim. Again, like I said, some of these pan over the camera so you don't get to see too much.
I mean, he could be dead standing up.
Your soul is mine.
So why is Batman your punching bag?
Flawless victory.
It's fun.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
Because Batman always gets all the love from DC. It's time for him to be taken down a peg.
Take this, Duckwork.
I love this one. There you go. If you ever now we got to see kind of there you go. You could edit that out of context. You could do that out of context. It would make it seem like Batman is taking another person's soul. All right, Katana.
Oh my god, blood.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, keep in mind this game is rated T, so it's like that's the reason why things
The
are
moment,
weak.
yeah, but
There
we
has
can only
been
show minimal
before,
blood.
Dwibs.
We can only show a bit of it, and only for like a half a second or something.
Oh, this is fine, though. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I've also
So-
been kicking in the crotch.
So let me get this right, DC. It's not okay for me to behead Batman, but it's okay for me to make him explode.
Well, he explodes in a comical way. And you see his skeleton.
Yeah, even this from Jax, instead of squashing the head, he just makes it a cartoon flat one. It's a bit funny, I
Oh,
admit, but
This is Looney Tunes.
well, it's Warner Bros.
Yeah, but this is Midway at the point.
Yeah, but they're
How
crossing
hard
over
is it
with
to
Warner
pull off
Brothers.
fatalities, by the way?
Yay! It's physically impossible, but I'll take it.
He learned that from Dante. Just let him be.
Fatality.
To answer your question, Dej, it's not too hard from what I recall.
Liu Kang.
There are friendships in this game?
Oh, I think I know the. Yeah, he squashes you with the
Ha.
Mortal Kombat cabinet.
Classic.
That is pretty cool.
Classic.
Really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Fatality.
Did Midway know they were going out of business? They did that.
See, that's the thing, Dwibs. This was kind of Midway's last attempt to stay afloat. And again, while this game was definitely financially successful, it was going to take, like, something that sold millions gangbuster style to keep Midway's lights on. And honestly, it was probably for the best, given how WB were much better owners for NetherRealm than Midway were.
Well, technically, NetherRealm wasn't a thing at the time. It was actually NetherRealm Studios proper actually became a thing after the buyout. At the time,
You know what I mean,
let's see.
though.
Yeah,
Edboon's team.
what do you mean? The Edboon's team didn't have a proper name to go by. They were just Midway, and that's it. But yeah, now it's the NetherRealm Studios. Yes.
So they're still based in Chicago.
Raven wins. Flawless victory.
How wonderful.
A lot of these fatalities are being, yeah, still in Chicago. A lot of these fatalities, sorry, are being hampered by, being stuck on a T rate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. A
No
Mortal,
doubt.
a Mortal Kombat game should never be rated anything other than M. It make... I mean, seriously.
Flawless victory. Fatality.
I'm Kaido, and I
Well,
beat the
no.
bit.
I'm sure they'll one day want to try a T rating just so they can release it in Japan. Because Mortal Kombat has been
Really, game? You did not any way to use creatively the
Okay.
laser in the fatality?
I mean, I know you can. I know you can have him rip out his heart because DC won't like that. But come up with something else. So yes, Jova.
To give him credit, Injustice could get pretty brutal despite being a T rating itself.
Injustice has Superman punching the Joker 30,000 feet in the air. Then come and doing a super jump
Again,
and then
again,
punch
I
him
get
in
the-
the back.
And characters do get bloodied in that game as well.
Again, I get the idea that with this one, Warner Bros. Was just wanted to be super extra careful and was not trusting too much the idea of pushing up a bit the envelope. That's it, basically.
Hell, in terms of gore, Solomon Grundy literally has knives and axes that he has poking out of his back that he
Okay,
pulls
Jesus.
out in occasionally uses.
What is this heroic brutality? Getting DC'd by...
It's simple. It's simple. It's simple, Tail.
He gave him the scarecrow juice.
Tail. It's simple, Tail. Bats frighten me. It's time my enemies share my
Sure.
dread.
To be fair,
Yourself.
bats can be pretty nasty when they attack en masse.
That is true, but they look like these were mildly inconveniencing the
So that-
opponent.
So there you go. That's Batman wins. There you go. So these are the heroic brutalities.
Heroic brutality.
Yeah, because we can't have him cutting people's heads off.
Superman.
Superman could probably do that.
To be fair, this is an
Oh
ad.
my god, it's the ending of Highlander the Source.
Not just that, Tail. This is basically Shiva's fatality from MK3.
Yeah.
Either that, or they're paying tribute to that bit in Superman 4, where it
Oh
happened
god,
to
that
Superman.
too. Yeah, that happens on the moon.
To Superman by Nuclear Man, because the Nuclear Man's a Superman clone. So.
Don't worry, he's fine.
Don't worry, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he got hit. He got struck by Superman, but
Clark.
he's fine.
With my last breath, I curse rock and roll.
But with my last breath, I say Martha.
Okay, that is actually in character for Flash.
Victory.
Yeah, that one looked
Why do you
cool.
have to knock the camera, Mulberry?
Why are you looking at me? And oh, I thought he was gonna run around the guy so fast it reverses time locally and de-ages Batman to a baby.
That would be cool.
No.
That would be an interesting way of doing it.
That's actually his super.
That wouldn't be.
move
That
in
would be.
Injustice.
Honestly, if this game had fatalities, I could definitely see Flash doing that. Honestly.
I guess Catwoman's not considered a hero.
Yes, of course. Well, yeah, she's a villain at this point.
Fatality. Well, in this game she is. So.
Oh, Catwoman wouldn't kill anyone, would she?
She has killed, yes.
Yeah, she's actually more ruthless.
And Bruce loves her. Weirdo.
Yes.
Then again, he did bang Talia al Ghul, so.
Not just that.
Okay. The whole Talia thing is
Okay,
a
hold on. This
bunch
is
of
important.
runways.
Okay, here, time to see the Joker one.
Honestly, I prefer Vicky Vale. As
Hold
long as she's not being written by
There
Frank
you go.
Miller. There you go.
That camera pan was specifically because they not wanted to see the Joker headshotting someone. Like,
Especially Batman.
Again, that's ironic because he gets to headshot people in Injustice.
not just that, also MK11. Subsequently, every game where the Jokers appear made by NetherRealm has basically poked
And yet
fun
they
at
can
that
show
transfer
this.
ship.
And yet that's fine. A card to the head.
I kind of like... Actually, this one, the card is actually my favorite fatality in the game. Just more classy, with the pose and everything.
So, how's Green Lantern beat Batman? Oh.
Really, Hal? That's how creative you get with a for a brutality?
How does,
Dude,
that's-
how does
that's
that
still-
defeat anyone?
okay, Tio, we have to remember how.
Dwibs. Have you ever been crushed
I got
before
two
in a
wings, but
giant
don't worry.
orb of energy?
We have to remember, Tio, Hal was never the most creative of the Green Lanterns. That was more so.
But yeah, this is a bit better at the very least.
Oh,
Creative.
that was right to the nuts. Damn.
That's creative, though, Jover.
Yeah, I guess.
Captain
Alright,
Marvel.
just-
Hal may have got.
So what's Shazam's fatality? Sorry, heroic brutality.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Wait, you said Shazam. Should you be back to your kids?
That's not how it works.
That's,
you
okay,
nerd.
Dwibs, that is. Wait.
Also,
if he
Batman
were
is
a
still
nerd, he'd have known
falling.
that's not how it works.
That's it.
Flawless victory.
You know, for a 12-year-old, that was kind of weak.
Yep.
Alright, Luthor, show us what you got.
Well, I mean, you haven't beaten Superman, but
Really,
He really
Max?
twisted his top half.
A back snap?
Flawless victory.
well,
I'll admit,
people
it's
said the
definitely
most
more.
impressive thing was Spade breaking his back, so I decided to go one further.
It is more creative than just a neck snap. Oh, good, here we go.
What,
Sec-
he, calls
one of-
he calls in the Air Force to blow him
It's
up.
slightly inspired by one of Sector's fatality. Sorry, yeah, Sector.
Did he call in the Air Force?
No.
Probably one of his satellite drones.
Stop calling Deadpool!
Yeah, there you go. This is another case where the edge wanted to be censored with a camera pan.
Flawless victory.
Yep.
Fatality. Finish him.
And...
Deathstroke.
I guess they haven't paid you much for these contracts, Slade.
Nope.
Nah.
No, I'm busy preparing for Teen Titans Go in 11 years.
Alright, Diana, what you got?
More importantly, the original series that was. Wait, hold on. When did this game come out?
2008.
2008.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember if the original series was.
Going on at the
think it
time?
may-
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it ended in 2006. Okay, so what are you gonna do? Make Batman tell the truth?
Flawless victory. Heroic brutality.
And
Okay.
that's it.
That's
that
it.
Was, that was it.
Alright.
I mean, a couple of them were creative, but for the most part, they were just kind of there.
I will give them
Yep.
this. They tried given the limitations.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so yeah, that was Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Dwibs.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was severely hampered by the lower age rating and all those restrictions placed upon them by the higher ups at DC and Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Especially when it comes to anything involving, well, again, the heroic DC characters and the Mortal Kombat characters. Like the Mortal Kombat characters' fatalities were really toned down, and the DC ones, the heroic DC ones, were just kind of there for the most part, except for the flashes and maybe a couple of others. Even the villain ones weren't all that great either, except for the Joker's cards of doom. The story itself, I don't think there was that much of one. It was just fight each other. Oh, and stop this guy making you fight each other.
That's basically it. Yeah, this game was clearly rushed and very made on a tight deadline, clearly. Not to mention the Midway not having enough money to properly flesh this out better.
It's like Midway were like, if we don't get this game out soon, we won't be around to make a profit.
and then you had to basically put yourself for sale, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a shame. I mean, it's not the worst Mortal Kombat game to go out on,
That's the thing, Dwibs.
but
Think
it is kind of disappointing, in some aspects.
Think about it, Dwibs. This was a better send-off than what was meant to actually be the send-off.
Well, that's well, isn't this is there's all sorts of different conflicting opinions on whether this is canon to the series or not.
Well, Dwibs, canon or not, if Mortal Kombat would have had to have ended, this would have been the last thing Mortal Kombat if Warner Brothers hadn't bought them up, or as far as Midway knew, this would be the last thing Mortal Kombat released. So the point is that this was a better send-off than the actual thing that was meant to be the end of the series, Armageddon.
Well, I mean, even so, I mean, I think Armageddon was still a better game than, say, Deception.
That's not what
that-
Jova
like
said.
that-
Go.
like that.
That's not what I was
Like that.
saying.
Like that's saying much. and also, to be honest, I mean, to be honest, I would have preferred it if Armageddon were the end of the very least Midway's involvement, because I mean, yeah, Armageddon's got a lot of problems, but I mean, it's less of a disappointment than, say, two big franchises crossing together and you get a lame story and lame fatalities. If there are even fatalities in the first place.
It is true that Mortal Kombat Armageddon, while more flawed, felt more like a full, fleshed-out product compared to this, because this game, as demonstrated by only 9 parts in the run, this game doesn't have that much meat to its bones, as you can see. It has a basic tournament mode, a basic arcade mode, a story mode that you can finish in like 2 hours. Yeah, there's not much to this game now.
Counterpoint. One, the quote-unquote story mode of Armageddon was barely rationalized encounters, some of which had absolutely no payoffs whatsoever.
Oh, definitely.
Here, everything at least got wrapped up proper. Secondly, part of the reason that Armageddon's run was longer was just that it had more other modes here, as opposed to the campaign actually being good and fleshed out. And need I even say anything more about the quote-unquote endings of Armageddon compared
At least
to
they're
these
longer than
endings?
this one. Sure, you technically miss the steals, but at least you get an actual ending instead of 2 phrases.
That's the
If
thing.
I
These
were-
ones feel more fold out than that.
If I were to sum up the Midway era, it's, to be honest, it's kind of all over the place. Like, the first few were very fun. 4 was fun because its cutscenes were a mess.
And how about those spin-offs?
Ugh.
Well, I mean, I could at least somewhat take Sub-Zero as a valiant effort from John Tobias, but it was just horribly executed.
Yeah, try playing it, and you probably won't have anything nice to say about it.
It really is a game that you appreciate the effort of the story, but the gameplay is
Not helping.
no. The gameplay single-handedly ruins the game. I'm not even kidding when I
Which
said
is
that.
which is still more than can be said for its other spin-off, or the one that we've seen anyway.
Oh no, Special Forces. Don't worry, Dwebs. We'll get to Shaolin Monks, the best spin-off, soon.
Yeah, Special Forces is one of the most nothing games ever. Like, it's a game that somehow manages to have worse voice acting than Mortal Kombat 4 for a start.
Special Forces is a game that happened.
Basically,
Yeah, that's like
That
the
is
best thing you
all.
can say. That's the best thing you can say about it. It's a game that came out and was not the best way to end it's not the worst way to end the console generation for PS1.
Special
PS
Forces, it's animation.
The PS2 era, again, mixed bag. I mean, I get what they were going for by not having, by having the change of main character with the games, because maybe you could possibly make the argument that
they didn't want the series to get stale. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah. They don't want the series to get. They don't want the series to get stale because they've been going on for like
Four
years,
games
years
at
by that point.
4 games at that point.
I still just love the irony. So they thought Liu Kang was too much of a boring goody two shoes, so they killed him off to replace him
I
with
made even more goody two shoes.
yeah, an even bigger and more idiotic goody two shoes.
Yeah, I get what it makes something different from Liu Kang, but what you replaced him with was an even blander Liu Kang.
It's like with Terminator Dark Fate. You killed off the
Oh, boy,
original
here we
only
go.
to repeat it, essentially, and do
I don't
it
know.
lamer.
I don't know, Jovan. None of these Mortal Kombat games offend me nowhere near as much as Dark Fate. Come on, I'm sorry.
No, Pedro. What I'm talking specifically with Terminator Dark Fate is the
Anyway.
killing the original just
So
to
go on,
repeat
Dwebs.
the same thing and do it. Hey, Deads, don't try and make fun of me and then cut me off before I make my defense.
Well,
Fine, let me do that. Go on, Dweebs.
I was in the middle of what I was saying.
And Dead interrupted. Go on,
You
Dwebs.
interrupted first. So anyway, we had a bland Liu Kang clone in Deadly Alliance, a stupid Liu Kang clone in Deception,
Who was the clone in Deadly Alliance?
Shujinko.
No,
that
the
was
Shujinko only premieres in
no.
Deception, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
technically,
Shujinko was
technically,
Deception.
there was no Liu Kang clone in Deadly Alliance. So no.
So it's even worse. They replaced him with nobody.
Well, technically, they tried to have Raiden be the point guy, but that went nowhere.
Yeah, and then in
Yeah.
Armageddon we had a guy.
A guy.
Haven, he...
He existed.
Yeah.
And then we have this game, which, I mean, it's a crossover, so you kind of have to have everyone on an even keel, to be fair. PS2 era, again, all over the shop. I mean, the gameplay looks solid enough, aside from some lame fatalities. But they also had some really dumb moments. The worst of it being Deception, mainly because of the terrible story.
Mm-hmm.
And also, one of the worst protagonists I've ever seen in a video game.
He literally gets arrested and just stays there in that cell.
Yeah, he remains imprisoned awaiting his trial, as the game said.
Even his
Explain how he becomes so old.
even his harakiris are terrible.
That being said, it was interesting seeing the reaction towards Shujinko's cameo in Mortal Kombat 11. It was surprisingly pretty negatively received, considering the character's reputation. We'll get to why when we get to Mortal Kombat 11, which will probably be a while from now anyway. But seeing I mean, you'd think with a character as despised as him, seeing him having the piss taken out of him, and as well as his blood, you think that would be pretty well received, but no, it wasn't.
It depends on the execution.
It's like Scrappy Doo in the 2002 Scooby Doo movie. Like you'd think everyone taking the piss out of him in the movie would be well received, but no, it was regarded as one of the many problems with that film.
Oh well. You done, Whips?
So the moral of the story is take that. Scrappy should be used properly, and also external problems suck.
Mm-hmm.
You done?
Yeah, them.
Go ahead,
Next.
Java.
MK versus DC. Like I said, all things considered, it was probably the best game of the era to give a send-off to the Midway era. Like, otherwise, I guess the best of them was Mortal Kombat 4. Because, okay, Deadly Alliance proposed an interesting idea, but again, didn't really have that amazing an execution. Or rather, it's more so what came after that let it down. Like, no, I mean, now that I think about it, Deadly Alliance was a good game. It's just that, well, the payoff was Mortal Kombat 6, and Well, we've all had our go at deception. Oh boy. Yeah, so turns out all that fighting in Mortal Kombat 5 was pointless, because, yeah, it was just gonna come to Raiden, and there was gonna be a big bad who pretty much undid all the good Raiden was aiming towards. And it's all because of one idiot, Shinjoku. Unmemorable protagonist guy, essentially. And then, of course, comes Armageddon. Meh. It's better, but it is just so lame an ending that, no. MK versus DC feels like a much more triumphant way to end it. Granted, that's not to say it's the quintessential amazing crossover fighting game, because, no, there's a lot going against it. Mitigated roster, weakened and nerfed fatalities, or heroic brutalities in some cases. Executive manhandling of the project did not help it either.
A story that feels like it ends just as soon as it began.
Honestly, I'm actually fine with the story. Granted, I do wish that there was more to it. But with what they had to work with, honestly, it's fine. And honestly feels like the most fleshed out Mortal Kombat story we've had since... Okay. The most fleshed out good Mortal Kombat story we've had since Mortal Kombat 3, essentially. Because, yes, technically Mortal Kombat did get some fleshed out stories, but those stories were Deception and Armageddon. Both of which sucked. I guess, honestly, it all comes down to a bout of, wow, this is probably the best thing we've had in ages. Which, based off of the past stuff, isn't exactly the highest merit to have. But again, I will acclaim them for working well with the restrictions they had. It did unfortunately mitigate the game, but it's a game I can still come back to and have fun, and I'm fine with. Granted, of course, I just prefer the Injustice and more modern Mortal Kombat. Well, the Injustice games. I haven't really played the modern Mortal Kombat games. Well, except for 10. Played that with my uncle here and there. But, yeah. Essentially, I might be the most positive one in saying that I'm glad about what this game gave us and what it did get us in the long run, because if it weren't for this game, we might have never gotten the Injustice games, which are flipping awesome gameplay-wise.
And the MK Reboot trilogy. Yeah.
Yes, 2, for all it's good and bad from what I've heard. Next.
2.
Oh, sure. It's fine for what it wants to be, but it's mostly just hampered by, its limitations. Mostly about the roster and its gameplay. You can tell when it's a transitioning period, it's a bit too clunky. The fatalities are hampered by the rating. The story is way too simplistic, for its own good. Sure, it's, technically fine on its own, but it contains only a base element, and that's literally it. Later games of both kind will just flesh out all of these aspects, thankfully, but this is still a very rocky start that has no real place right now. It's mostly just sure, it should be still released for preservation in my opinion, but that's pretty much it. You have better alternatives to look at anyway. I'm still preferring Armageddon as the send-off to the classic lineup, especially considering it was on a different console anyway over this. And that's pretty much it. I said everything that I needed to in the past. Edge.
All right. As I've said multiple times, this game is the necessary evil. This game had to be made, or else it wouldn't have paved the way for the reboots and Injustice. How you guys feel about those games is up to interpretations, but hey, at least people still got employed, right? That's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting an answer. In terms of a finale to the original timeline, I don't know, because from what I've seen compared to Armageddon, this kind of feels. Deception description looks like the one I would enjoy the most out of the 3D games. Or
Yeah, gameplay wise, is it's the best game. Honestly, Jova, here's the thing. Yes,
I know. Gameplay wise, it's mainly just the story we hated.
Yeah, pretty much everything outside of the conquest mode is great in Deception, actually. So
that said, one thing to remember, one thing people did like Mortal Kombat 4 was also the lore, which
definitely
didn't do as well with. But yeah, I mean, gameplay wise, Deception is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is still probably the wackiest crossover I've ever seen, because it's like you have the brutal killers of Mortal Kombat, and then you have the DC universe where most of the heroes are pretty much good-hearted. They don't kill, etc. Unless it's like Earth 2 or whatever Earth it is.
Earth 3 from the Evil Syndicate.
Okay.
Earth 2 as well, to be fair.
Earth 2 is more the Justice Society homeworld.
No. Earth 2 also has the original Superman and...
Yeah, the Justice Society, or the Golden Age people homeworld.
They did occasionally kill, given, the Golden Age and all that.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah. But it's like, you think out of the comic book characters that would cross over DC and make sense would be Image Comics.
Yeah.
Spawn.
Youngblood, Destroyer Duck, that kind of stuff.
Omni-Man.
Wait. Is Invisible supposed to be part of Image Comics?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was an indie brand.
No. It's made by the same guy who made The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they're from the same company.
Anyway, you're done, Dej?
Yeah. It's just I am glad that this game existed, because it's like it had to. And it's just interesting to talk about and look into it and see what it could have been a lot worse. I'm done. I should get to playing these games eventually. They should probably re-release them, right?
Oh, trust me, that Warner Brothers hasn't done really all that well in releasing the Mortal Kombat backlog. Not really, no.
It's not the first fighting game franchise that has this issue of
releasing
older games. Cough Tekken.
To me, that's the most baffling thing. With MK11 becoming the highest-selling game in the entire franchise, you'd think, okay, MK is at the peak of its popularity right now. Let's take advantage and start re-releasing these games so we can keep cashing in on the brand. But this is literally the most brain-dead business move you can make that fans will actually appreciate, because they get to replay these games more conveniently. But no, seriously,
they do own them completely, right?
Yeah,
they do. Yes.
Huh.
Again,
are they
Warner Bros. In general has a bit of an erratic behavior when it comes to making games on their own publishing brand, and they don't have a big track record in re-releasing anything. The closest we got was the Return to Arkham collection, duology for PS4, Xbox One, and I think it was also adaptation on PC, and it looked kind of bad.
Oh, yeah, I've heard. What a shame that we haven't gotten the ever-requested re-release of Superman 64.
So yeah, MK vs. DC is fine. It's the bigger problem with this game is that it's clearly undercooked. Quite undercooked. Mm-hmm. There's not really enough content to justify a full price buy, not really. The campaign is too short. The arcade and tournament modes are standard. There's not even any mini games, like in the PS2 era games, to add more to it. So it really is a game that doesn't have much meat on its bones. And as a result, it's still a fun game, but not for a full price. This game definitely, but fortunately now you don't have to pay full price to get it, so now it's definitely something that you should get. But yeah, definitely, like if I'm definitely glad I didn't pay a full $60 for this back in the day, because yeah, it doesn't really justify the full price. It doesn't have enough content to justify it. That being said, yeah, it's still fun, and most of the time the characters are true to how they should be, so it works fine. And it's just a shame that the fucking censorship and restrictions keep things tame. But what can you do? Like Deji said, this was something that at the very least granted us better things later. So yeah. But yeah, overall, MK vs. DC is a fine piece of history of the MK series. But yeah, it's something that you just play once so you can get a good grip on what it is like. But aside from that, yeah, I'm not really going to go back to this game because there are better Mortal Kombat games to play.
It's strictly there if you do want the MK vs. DC crossover factor there, because to give it credit, it has arguably the most refined of the classic Mortal Kombat game. Well, classic meaning everything before the reboot, of course. I'd argue it does have the most refined in that regard.
I have a dumb question to ask you guys.
What?
Would you guys like to see an animated movie of this?
Sure.
If it's if it's written,
okay.
Yeah.
Deji, if it's written by Jeremy Adams, definitely.
Okay. Just for reference, DC animated original movies are back on the rise of quality. That's good. The 2 Mortal Kombat animated movies we've gotten so far have been awesome. So yeah, yes, please.
Okay. I just want to know, like, what you guys want to see.
Definitely. Again, get Jeremy Adams, the writer of Scorpion's Revenge and Battle of the Realms, to write that. There you go. It's that simple. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, everybody, that was MK vs. DC. But we're not quite done yet with the MK era. There is one more game that we haven't done yet that we couldn't before.
More on the Game Boy.
So yeah, the game that we haven't done yet is actually the third Mortal Kombat spin-off that we haven't been able to record yet, but things change in the meantime, meaning you will eventually see soon the third Mortal Kombat game, and one of the all-time fan favorite games of the MK series, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. So tune in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.